I thought this was interesting. Adam Silver, commissioner of the NBA. Well, he's taking flack for all the offense and the astronomical numbers, and nobody can stop anybody. Well, now
the league sucks.
It does, but he has a thought on how he can make the NBA better. Check it out.
And I'm probably in a minority. As we get more involved in global basketball, the NBA is the only league that plays 48 minutes. And I am a fan of 4 10-minute quarters. I'm not sure that many others are. I mean, putting aside what it means for records and things like that, I think that a 2-hour format for a game is more consistent with sort of modern television habits. I don't think people in arenas aren't asking us to shorten the game, but I think as a television program, being 2 hours, that's Olympic basketball is 2 hours. College basketball, of course, is
but
is
if
40
you
minutes.
like it, I'd say it has kind of a little bit of a push there.
Yeah, but it's such a dramatic change to the game. I mean, I think something like that would have to be talked more about.
You say Dan Patrick show for that clip. I'm gonna start with this. Why don't we just start playing the games in Paris? Why don't we just do a season in Sydney, Australia? Yeah, how about we go to inserts? Let's go to Spain. Are we trying to be Euro? Like, this is the Euro League now? Look, I was cool with Adam Silver in the beginning when he became the commissioner because you understood it was a changing of the guard. He was going to do inclusion, and that was his wheelhouse and blah, blah, blah. But now it's like, bruh, 10-minute quarters? Because the offense sucks. Because the offense in the NBA sucks now. Everybody's scoring at will. There's no defense. You softened it up. And now all of a sudden, you're just scoring astronomically, and you can't control it because there's no defense. So this is what we do. This is the solution, if you will. Shorter quarters, shorter quarters.
He wants to make it into a TV show. You heard him.
Right. It's gimmicky.
It's a 2-hour show. Here it is. Here's your 2-hour show.
It's gimmick.
Meanwhile, you're at the arena, and you're stuck up trying to get a pretzel and a soda or a beer. And you come back and the damn quarter's over.
The game's over.
A cashless beer, by the way.
Yes, a cashless beer. So
what is this?
As far as I'm concerned, leave it alone. If you want to change the game, there are rules that you can do, like the 3-point line, the corner jumper, which is an automatic 3 points now. Maybe you move the line a little bit. Maybe you come up with a 4-point play somehow. I don't know. Maybe you
people are scoring 230.
widen the lane. I don't know. I don't know. But they don't call traveling. They haven't called traveling in like 20 years. I mean, there are rules to the game. There are rules. LeBron has broken every single rule in this game, and they've let him, and they let guys like him get away with it. So, as far as me watching a basketball game, I wait to the playoffs. I'm bored, but when I go to the arena, it's my favorite game to go to, is a basketball game. Out of all the sports, including baseball, I love going and watching a basketball game. I don't know why. There's something about it. If you're sitting close, not up on the rafters.
It's the only game without helmets. It's the only game that you can end up in somebody's lap.
It's a game that all of us can play. Mm-hmm. All of us can play basketball. If you could shoot, if you could hit a free throw, it just means a lot to me. And I wish the game was like it used to be.
Man, even the finals sucks now.
I know.
Right now off the top, who played in the finals last year?
I got to really think I
had to too. I know who it is, but it was the Celtics and the Mavericks. And it was a horrible finals.
I wouldn't have guessed the Mavericks.
We knew who was going to win that at the beginning of the year.
Wow.
And they were the best team all year. They're the best team in the playoffs, and they damn sure the best team in the finals.
Pistons play the Mavs tomorrow, by the way.
I'll be there.
Yeah, I think I'm going too.
Pete, what you got?
Not playing.
Well, I was just going to ask you guys a question. I mean, if this thing is going to be going down with shortening games to 2 hours on television, and Matt, as you're talking about standing in line for a pretzel, ticket prices have to be affected by this. Don't you pay for ticket prices right now? I mean, I'm just saying, like an average ticket price is for a 3.5 hour
I got to pay more.
Now you're paying for the same price for a 2 hour game. That ain't gonna fly.
I went to see Chauncey when he was here with the Trailblazers. I went at the end of the third quarter to get some food. Everything's shut down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but that's been up for a while.
I mean, I thought it was just beer sales and alcohol sales.
No.
The bar was open. I couldn't get a pizza.
Yeah.
At Little Caesars Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you out.
Coming back to what you guys are just talking about, I'm sure that a 40-year-old LeBron is in favor of 40 minutes. And I think that
I got the answer on why the pizza and the food stuff was closed down as well.
Okay, go ahead.
It's just economics of the city of Detroit. Like, you force people to leave and eat downtown Detroit, eat other
That's
places
closed
outside.
too, Bray. There's restaurants closing at 10 o'clock.
True,
Since
but
COVID, yeah.
Well,
That was
10
just my
o'clock
guess.
would fall right in underneath that
Exactly.
2-hour game. But
Exactly.
my issue with this is, hey, this is a game that was created and perfected in North America. Shout out James Naismith from Canada. But it was perfected and became the world's game because of what the NBA did, the precedents that were set. The reason that this game has gone backwards in terms of fanfare and numbers is because of their absolute desire to copy the foreign game. Everything from changing the ball to the Euro step to the way they defend, all of it. And you got a guy in Luka who's not interested in defending anything, getting MVP awards, which is, it's ridiculous. And you've got a league that you've alienated half of your base. Basically anybody 30, 35 and up that's gotten used to the NBA our whole lives, you get alienated watching these guys being able to have a whole extra step.
You're looking at me.
Yeah.
I can't complain enough about that.
For sure. And so why are they desperate to be the ABA, CBA, non-NBA leagues overseas when all those kids since 1992 have been trying to get in the NBA? The fact that he just disregarded what it would do to the records of this storied league is ridiculous. Just throwing that aside.
He did mention records.
He said that aside, like
that
it's a
aside.
footnote. Come on, man.
Right.
nobody. What they're basically doing is shortening the game so nobody can ever catch LeBron James. Can't ever catch it.
There you go.
That was a joke, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't get these LeBron
I'm just
haters
messing with.
no
But
ammo.
anyway, the reason why the league is only going to get worse based off this merit, they're trying to turn it into the Euro League. But the Euro League, way more competitive. That's what they're trying to get to. It's more competitive. The games are good. It's team ball. Problem is, we're getting their stars sent over here.
You're right.
Their stars come over to the American version of basketball. Then they get lazy. None of these foreign guys play defense. And then you got a bunch of young kids in America that are trying to find where their niche is. Like, I'm in high school, but I want to come out. I don't want to go to the league. But I this is what I have talent-wise. But I think I'm ready playing the NBA. Now they're sitting 4 or 5 years in the NBA before they can get going. Like, that is the cycle that we're in right now. Like, that is just what it is. And it's I don't see it getting any better soon.
Listen to me. 30 NBA teams, right? There's 30.
What happens when the stars gone? LeBron, KD, Steph. What happens when they leave? Then you're really going to have people disinterested.
There are way too many teams. There are. 30 teams is too much. It's watered down. There are so many bad teams. Look, we talk about the East. It's so bad. It's so bad. Then let's freaking move some teams together. And I know it'll never happen. But there are too many teams in this league for the talent that they're giving us. And the one and dones, and I'll say this. I believe if you go to college, I believe all the leagues should do this. You need 2 years of college before you're playing in the league.
I do agree with that.
2 years of college before. Now, high school kids, I'm sorry. No. If you want to go to the G League, maybe there's a rule for high school kids to go to the G League. But the NBA, the NFL, MLB don't count, and the NHL, that don't count either. 2 years in college, it'll improve college basketball immensely. It'll improve the NBA immensely. Think of the draft. The draft is almost not worth it unless there's a Victor Wembanyama. Besides that, whoever you pick, they ain't playing. They're not playing. Look at Cade. It took him how many years to become the player he is now? It's the one and done is ruining sports.
Can I provide a suggestion for what they could try with that scenario, the one and done? You know how they do these camps. They do the combines. They do the camps. They have the guys that want to come out, put them together like you do in these camps. The ones that you know aren't going to come in this year and do anything, or they're not going to cook, or they don't fit the bill. They don't fit the, okay, this guy can go on the team. He's mature enough for the NBA game. Sometimes you know. You can watch a run game. Like when you were watching Bronny play, I love Bronny. I love what he did in the G League. But if you're talking about playing NBA minutes in meaningful games, he's not built for that. And you can say, look, we don't believe insert player's name here is ready this season.
Yeah.
Now you got to go back. Now you get the option to go back to school. Like that could be a way to do it because you know when you know. He's not ready yet. But come back next year.
The sport, like we talked about before, is in a transition period, and I think it starts with how it's being reffed and how it's being coached at the lowest levels. Because we're waiting on the next evolution of basketball. They evolved into a 3-point game, which I embraced at first because people said Golden State couldn't win like that, and then you look up and they had one of the greatest dynasties in NBA history.
I embraced it when it was one person doing it.
Well, true, but it's a copycat league, and now it has gone through the league to the point where they do need to change some things up. And I think because they blow the whistle so much, because stoppages can be so long when they try to review things, you have really taken the physicality out of the game. And as far as like how it's coached from a lower level, because like we talk about, it's all threes and layups and dunks at this point. There's no mid-range game to be found, and defense is rarely being played. And they're coaching this at the lowest levels. You see kids in AAU basketball taking 30, 40-foot jump shots, and it's like it's kind of crazy. And even though you have the ability to do that, I think they do need to go back to coaching it in a more physical way like they used to. But I mean, those are just starting points. I don't know what's the end-all be-all for the NBA. Like I said, we are still waiting for the next evolution of it, and I'm interested to see what it will be.
KG, that was a great conversation by you. I remember literally one of my dad's good friends, Rico Jenkins, said, what's going on? He invited me to, see this young kid, the standout kid. Yo, you got to see this kid play. This was, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Come see the standout kid. So we go see the standout kid. Don't you know by halftime, between the two teams, there were 61 3-pointers attempted?
Oh, my God.
It was halftime, man.
Everybody wants to be
61 threes at a halftime.
Yep.
Man, this wasn't even a high school game.
Yeah.
It was an 8th grader.
It's Steph and Caitlin. Everyone wants to be that. Girls want to be Caitlin. The boys want to be Steph Curry.
Yeah,
You know what? It's called basketball. I'll put the ball in the basket.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of the 3-point shot, believe it or not. But something's got to change in this game. And like I said, there's a lot of really terrible teams. I mean, really terrible teams. Can you imagine if you took 4 teams out of the league and took those players and merged them into other teams? How much better the league would be right then and there. You're never going to see Celtics-Lakers again at this rate. Never.
Well, on that thought,
no city's giving up a team.
I got to make the point that one of the things that they're missing most about comparing the NBA to the Euro game is relegation. And when you have relegation, you don't have teams throwing the towel in early in the season.
Yeah, this is true.
You've got guys at the lower levels that, hey, I might not be able to get picked up on a 10-day contract, but if we win the whole damn thing, we're all going next year. And I think that relegation for multiple leagues in the United States, the major 4, would be hugely valuable, and that's the only way that you can try and take the Euro game and bring it here, because that is what makes the Euro game and football all over the world so special. Because if you screw up a season, you can screw up your whole franchise.
Bye-bye. I don't know how it works
America
in our
would
leagues.
never go for it, though.
I don't know how it works in our leagues, but it works in soccer, and that's the most. It's the sport, right, in the world, but not here. That's what I mean. It don't work here.
Cheapest sport to play.
But but along your idea, if you take the bottom 2 teams out, and then you
Who would that be? Washington and who right now?
Certainly Washington. Somebody else in the West, I forget. But you take those 2 teams, and now you put all of that talent into the G League. And now you've got a watchable product on the minor level.
They're destroying. They'll destroy G League teams.
No. Those guys. Well, I mean, it depends on how it's done. There isn't a format though where those guys would be filtered down into the G League, and maybe you just take 2 teams away and you do an expansion for the G League where all of these teams are good now, and this whole G League is playing to be able to make it back up the next season. Be interesting. The fact that the NBA is trying to be the game that was made because of the NBA, because of the Dream Team. You have to look at all the different things that make those leagues successful, and I think that one of the biggest ones is relegation. It's not the Euro step. It's not the lack of physical play. It's not high scoring, and it's not even the raucous crowds over there, because those raucous crowds are never going to come over to the United States. That's how they love their sports over there. So I can't stand Adam Silver. I haven't since the day he came in. I think that he's done nothing but ruin the product, and now it sounds like he wants to take it a step further.
Well, look at baseball. They put the pitch clock in. A lot of people cried about
Best
that.
thing ever happened.
You can't throw to first base more than twice. A lot of people cried about that. I love both those rules. The NFL, they changed the kickoff. I hate that rule. So there's give and take. The NHL, they got rid of the offsides, the icing. You make the icing a quick whistle instead of going down to touch the puck. I love that. So the NBA, they got to take a chance and change some rules as well. That's coming, man. It has to. Otherwise, well, they don't care about me anymore. But they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose a lot of fans, and they already have. This is one of their worst seasons ever when it comes to viewers, not money.
And one of the big things that they have to do as it relates to the referees, like you got to get these referees to like fall in line, because the referees in the NBA, above all these, they are trying to be superstars.
Yeah.
The referees in the NBA, they want the TV time, they're teeing up for no reason, like they're trying to become a part of the act. You are a part of the act. Your job is to follow the play, the game play. When you see a call, you blow your whistle. Not all the extra stuff. That will help the NBA, I think, immensely.
And every 5 plays, it seems to be a review on something, too. And they've gotten a little bit quicker about expediting the reviews. But all those stoppages, all these fouls, man, I really do feel if you call less fouls, I think that can help a lot.
Let's go look at the little 6-inch TV screen.
Yeah, like, it's
Really?
silly. It's
Really?
silly.
Let's take away the three-point line for just one season.
Oh, hell no.
Just one season.
That'll never happen.
Dunks go up. Come on, man. I mean,
Yeah.
physicality it gets returned to the game. Just one season.
How about pushing it back?
Pushing back? I'm all for that.
Okay, push the damn line back then.
Especially in the corner.
Yes.
God, watching guys just sit there and hide in the corner all game
That's what I
long.
said. Take the
guys
corner
get to the rack, get in trouble. I know I can kick it to the corner. That was one of the first things that started ruining basketball.
Put the line on the corner coming out.
Yeah.
So there's no corner.
Absolutely.
There's no corner.
I'm pretty sure it was Bobby Knight who said that the three-point stripe was going to ruin the game. I'm pretty sure it was Bobby Knight who said that.
He getting pretty right.
I don't think it rules the game, though.
It don't ruin the game.
What?
I'm not saying
It didn't ruin the game for a long time, but now
It's just dominate.
51 attempts per game by the defending champion Celtics.
But
who wants to watch that?
I totally agree. But that's why I said the next evolution I'm interested to see, because in the 90s it was dunks, right? In the early 2000s it was playmaking, ball handling that dominated. And then in the 2010s to now it's been the three-point shot.
80s, it was the dunk, my young friend.
Well, true,
The
but it
90s,
carried
it
into
was
the
the hand
90s.
check. And the three-point line being moved in and then being moved back out. So the heyday for the NBA was physical dunk basketball. We all know.
Yeah.
True.
My last thoughts on this is whatever you do to the game, when you're bringing in these 18-year-olds that do not know how to play, when they don't have the right teaching as it relates to the fundamentals of the game, I don't care what changes you make. These 18, 19, 20-year-olds that are coming in are still not going to be able to play for 3-4 years. So it will still be a slow process.
They don't belong in the league.
100%.
Unless they're Wemby.
Like, when you know. Like, back in the day, it was like, yo, Kevin Garnett wants to come out of high school. You know what? Yeah, he deserves to. Hey, you know what? Moses Malone. You know what? He's probably going to be a damn good player. KG.
What if it's
Kobe.
a rule, right?
You said what?
But if it's a rule, then
I
you know what?
understand,
Guy
but-
like Wemby, if there's a rule, then that's the rule.
And kids ain't even going to college now. They just going straight to the
Well,
G
that
League.
shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't mind that. You should have to stay there for a certain amount of time. But it's another-
any of you guys Pro Bowl watchers?
Hell no.
Like,
Not no
like
more.
it
I used to
starts
watch
today.
I used to watch
Not
it.
since 2010.
Do they wear pads still?
No.
Or is that just the
It's
flag
flat,
football?
It's flat football.
That's it.
It's flat.
They do
It's
these
We'll show
events.
you. We're gonna come back and teach you.